guys, it's Eric, owner of Farpoint Farms here in the mountains, North Carolina. And tonight I've got this. This is the President Taylor FCC 12/24 volt CB radio. This is a 40 channel AM radio, and this one is pretty sweet. And thank you to the President Corporation for sending me one of these things to review. You know, I love these radios. Anything from President usually is pretty awesome. I have no doubt this will be pretty much like the rest. Pretty awesome. But anyway, let's take a look at the box here. This will be part one, where I will do a just kind of an unboxing and an overview. In part two, we'll plug it in and see how it sounds on the air. And if I get this installed in the truck, part three, we'll do a range test. I've got the 102 steel whip hooked up in the truck, and I can hook this up. That'll pretty much give us the maximum output of the Taylor here. But let's see, engineered to be the best. I like it. 7-color display. Got up down on the microphone itself, which is really cool, and built-in SWR meter. That's always nice. So let me go ahead and open this thing up, and we'll see what we got. Oh, I guess I didn't show the back. There's the back over there. Right on. The President has really, I would say, been at the forefront of CB radios in the last 7 or 8 years now. They've just got it figured out. They're building the radios people want to buy, so they're kind of taking the lead in this industry. All right, let's see here. Got a nice little sticker here. I'll keep that. And the manual, let's take a look at the manual here. Automatic squelch control. One thing I have really loved about all the President radios that I have installed in my cars and is that automatic squelch control. Like, every company had its own. I think Cobra had the sound tracker, and let's see, I can't remember what Unit called theirs, but everyone's got their own way of trying to make squelch work properly, or have like an auto squelch. The automatic squelch control on the Bill and on the Andy and on the McKinley that I've tried out, and on the Walker as well, have all been like top notch. They really do work well. You don't miss out on the conversations, but you do miss the static, which I don't miss at all. So I'm really happy with that. Good to see that's on this radio as well. And looks like 54 pages in English. So very detailed, very detailed. And of course, in part two, we'll get into all the features and functions, because if it's like the other models that I've tested out from them, each button and each dial does more than one thing, which is nice. That's how they can keep these radios so compact. Let's go ahead and open this up. All right, nice bracket there for mounting. And there's our little screws for the bracket, and of course a mic holder. It's nice that it comes with that. Go ahead and take our mic out. There we go. Like that, nice long cords. Hard to see in all in one picture, but that's got probably the three, well, I don't know, that's a 6-foot cord. That's pretty cool. Got a good feel to it. And it does have the up-down button, which I really have gotten to like, where you don't have to take your eyes off the road if you want to change channels. So very cool. 6-pin looks like. 1, 2, 3. Yep, 6-pin mic. So nice. I'll set that off to the side here. And let's see what else we got here. A little pack of material. And here's the main unit. I'm going to tell you this right now. This is smaller than I thought it would be. I think from looking online and looking at these, I thought this was like the size of a Cobra 29. But getting it out of the box here, let's set the box off to the side. This looks like a Cobra 25 size, so in between, it's a smaller than a DIN size radio, that's for sure. So it's a pretty compact radio. But I do like the fact that it has the, kind of the vintage look. This one doesn't have that modern look to it. It does have that brushed aluminum face on there, which I really like. It does come with USB. You think about it, they're making radios for the modern era. So while they have classic CB radio stuff built into them, they do realize that folks are doing stuff here like needing to charge, or let's say want to charge their cell phone, want to have a GPS unit plugged in. So ways to use that extra is really nice. All right, sorry about that. Had the phone call there. Anyway, like I was saying, I like the fact that they do have the USB port, because it does allow me to run a GPS. If I'm going to be traveling on the highway, a lot of times I've got the GPS on and the radio on, and the fact that it just kind of runs through, it leaves my cigarette lighter open for other items if I wanted to charge a phone or had other devices that I wanted to plug in. right off the bat without even having to turn it on, and we'll save part 2 for plugging it in and all the rest. But what I'm seeing here is a very cleanly laid out radio. We've got our channel adjuster dial there. It doesn't appear that does any secondary functions, so that's just going to be our dial. I like the fact that we've got an analog meter here, old school analog meter. One thing I'm noticing on the picture here, and I'll get this closer over so we can see, is that we do have the frequency counter as well as a channel indicator. So it's amazing that they have done that. You know, it looks like an old school radio, but instead of just a 40 counter display, we're packing in a lot of other stuff here. We got, instead of having LED lights all over the place that tell us when we're transmitting and all the other functions, all that's handled by pretty much a small digital display, and that changes colors, which is also very cool. And then over here, we've got our automatic squelch control on the all the way down. Move that little switch, and you can hear it. We move that back up, and then we've got our manual squelch control here, so that's really nice. And then this one here, our volume control. Again, nice click when we turn that on and off, and then our volume control is there. And then we've got some interesting stuff here. I'm not sure what CB/TB is, but I'll have to look that one up. I don't know what that one means. But then all the way down, we do have a PA, so I'll flip it around and show you the buttons on the, or the connections on the back here in a second, and all the way up for just CB. So I will be checking to see what TB means. That's interesting. Always something new here, huh? Noise blanker and analog, or ANL, automatic noise limiter. Then we have a high cut noise blanker, ANL, and then all the way down to off. So a 3-position switch there, and 3 different ways of filtering out the stuff you don't want. So if you have a car that has a noisy fuel pump or a lot of whine from the ignition, those are different ways of trying to calm that down, kind of make that quiet. This I love, one of my favorite features on the Walker. So instead of a 919, which I still, in my areas that I'm in here, channel 19 is still heavily in use for highway use. But channel 9 is all but done. So what President's done is they've given these programmable positions. So instead of being set to any one, I can now set them to what I use or what people in my area use. So on the off, well, I go through my regular 40 channels. But let's say I could program channel 14 is one of the channels that we use here locally for trucks. So I'll go up to emergency 1. I can program that in as channel 14. And now I can just instantly switch to that, and I can keep 19 down in emergency 2, or I could switch that out to something else as well. So that's pretty cool. And then this does have weather, which is really cool for such a compact radio. I mean, look at the size of that. That's a small radio with a really nice heat sink. But it does have weather alert functions beat in there, and this looks like the function/Vox button there. So this does have Vox control, which is pretty neat. I've never really used that function on CB, but it's nice to have it. As far as the case goes, nice case, man. I mean, it's got this kind of heat sink feel to it. It is metal all the way around, which is nice. It's got nice warnings here about plugging it in the right way. Bottom mounted speaker. And on the back here, that's a pretty good size heat sink. I don't know if y'all can see that, but that's a good sign there. So if you have a radio like this that's maybe plugged into an antenna, and the antenna has less than optimal output, SWRs are fairly high, this is going to protect you somewhat from burning out the finals in this thing. Now, it's not going to make it invincible, but it does help to have a good heat sink to keep things from warming up, especially if you do a lot of talking. So that's really nice. Antenna out, the PL259. There's our Vox PA, and it does have an external speaker, and the wiring comes pre-attached, looks like on this model, with a good inline fuse there. So overall, I'm really, really digging it. I was surprised at how small this is. So right now my truck has the President bill built into it, and I'm going to have to check and see if that will fit that same slot. If it will, I believe we're going to be upgrading to the Taylor, because the Taylor certainly is a good looking radio. I like the classic, 40 channel classic style, but I like the fact that it also comes with all those modern features. So anyway, that is it for today. I hope you like part 1 here. In a couple weeks, I will get this thing hooked up, probably on the bench here to the Antron or the Max 2000 antenna. Do a little bit of talking and listening on this radio, see how it performs here as a base station, which you can always use any of these radios as a base station. Check out all the features and functions, go through them. And then in part 3, like I said, if I can get it installed in the truck, I would love to do some range tests with this. So that'll be it for today, my friends. If you like this video, perhaps you'll think about liking and subscribing. And I'll see you next time. Take care.
There's always always something that needs a little fixing on Farpoint Farms. Freedom is mighty sweet, liberty sows its seed at Farpoint